all your shipments going to cost. Tomatoes that's coming to you is going to cost 3 times more because the diesel's costing you 3 times more, but not in Dubai, because they do help and subsidize a lot. Because why? Because they're cash positive. They have a cash surplus.
Moe Koaik, great to get you back on the Rebel Agent podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, what a 2 or 3 weeks it's been, eh?
Yeah, it's been quite a ride. Yeah, but it's all right. I mean, it's been better than previous times. As I remember, I mean, I grew up here, right? So
yeah. I mean, I've listened to you quite a bit talk about it, and of the people that I know, you've talked by far the most sense, and that's why I thought I've got to do a podcast with Moe, get him back on, and get your insights on it. Also, want to talk about how long have you been at EXP now?
This is my 2nd year.
Yeah, I want to talk about the huge success you've had. Sure. I want to talk about the social media stuff that you've really been getting into and the market in general and how you see it going. But let's start with anybody that doesn't know you, they can watch the first podcast, and we won't bother with intros there. But let's talk about the current situation and your overall take on it.
I mean, we're talking about the crisis that's happening with these rockets.
The Middle East crisis. Yeah.
Yes, the GCC is under attack. And we don't want to go into the political situation right now, but we want to go into the economical crisis that we're facing, because that's what it is right now. We have been through once before, but some people think of this as an opportunity. I'm one of those people. Yeah. Because for a long time, most of your clients say, we're waiting for that market. We're waiting for that market to go down. Well, I mean, it didn't really go down, but this is an opportunity where you want to buy in because, as we've learned from previous incidents or situations that Dubai has faced or UAE has faced, it always came out stronger. And if you actually watch my channel, I've spoken about this before the crisis, a couple of weeks before, spoken about the previous crisis.
I'll put a link to that in the show notes.
Spoke about previous crisis. And funny enough, a couple of weeks later, we have a crisis and most people started talking about the same stuff I mentioned.
So it's your fault.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, I was first. I was the first to say it. No, they actually missed out on one. The 2014. 2014, there was an oil crisis.
Yep.
That
hit prices here.
Yeah, it went down to $25, and it was a big crisis.
So it's very early to say, but and of course we're looking at the whole of Dubai rather than areas.
Right.
But have you got a feel for what percentage it will have dropped, say, over the last three weeks? A ballpark figure or not? Or is it just too early to say?
It's honestly, it is too early to say. Now, I've seen a lot of, I would say the ultra luxury or the real luxury segment has been hit slightly. Some people are trying to sell their villa for 50 million or 60 million, have reduced the price a bit by 5 or 6 million. So that's the drop we've seen. But how much money they're making still?
Yeah. So if they got in early.
If they got in early.
Yeah.
And most have. So some people bought in for 20 million. They were trying to sell it for 30 million. They're saying, okay, we'll drop to 26. Okay. So it did go down from the market price. But what's the market price for this ultra luxury anyway? What are we comparing it to? Because we know Dubai, we didn't have really ultra luxury. It was a lot of those custom made villas or custom made units and some off-plan ultra luxury that's still under construction. So we don't have a lot of those to be able to say how much the market has dropped, right? Of course, you'd have cases where some people are on a mortgage and maybe renting their unit out as an investment, and now they lost the tenant, and now they see themselves having to pay the mortgage still for a few months ahead, and they're worried about how long this is going to go for, and they say, okay, let me put this unit back on the market, let me try to sell it and come out of that mortgage because I don't want to be in debt in 6 months' time or 10 months' time and having to worry about that. So some people started panic sell. That's what I call it. There's panic sell because 3 weeks in, you're selling, that's a panic sell.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know real estate is a long-term game. It's not stock. You don't see it dropping and say, oh my God, let me start. No, you don't. So it is a long-term game.
So you have got those people that panic. You've also got others that do need to make mortgage payments, or they got payments to make on off-plan properties, and they have to sell, don't they?
Definitely, but
and then it's a case of whether or not there are enough buyers to come in and take that stock off the market.
And what happened was something nice. What I've seen, and think. Investors are smart. So they've seen this cycle happen before in Dubai.
Yeah.
And now they've gotten smarter. What I've seen this time, different from the previous times, is the amount of buyers saying, if you find any distressed deal, anything below market by 10% at least, let me know. I'm ready. Cash. And a lot of those have called. And that's the sentiment around the market. If you ask most brokers, that's what they have, right? And this message has been transmitted to whom? To the panic sellers. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Maybe I'm rushing this.
And that is all a very positive sign.
Exactly. So they said, let me hold off. Maybe it's not that bad. It's still early, right?
Yeah.
So that has stopped a lot of sellers from panic selling because they heard there's a lot of buyers just waiting for you to drop that price. So why drop it? It's too early, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're a resident of Dubai and you've lived through this past 3 weeks, what has changed?
Well, exactly.
What has changed for you?
Yeah.
I live right by the fountain. And it hasn't stopped for one day. During Ramadan, on the clock, man, every day, on time. It's working. People are going around. All the shops are open. Everything's operating. Delivery is happening. If you have motorbikes delivering anything you want, what crisis do we have?
Well, I'm in DIP, and it's just business as usual.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe a bit quieter, but it's just business as usual. Now, I know in the more touristy areas, the marina, the Palm, like that, business has dropped off more. But there's a lot of panic around, and you hear it a lot in the Western media.
Yes.
But what's actually happened, if you compare, well, you talk about it because you talk about comparing it with the roads or natural causes in terms of the number of fatalities or the number of serious injuries. It's absolutely minimal, isn't it?
Exactly. That's what I spoke about before, and I put a video up and looked up the numbers. If you look at the average deaths on accidents on the roads in Dubai, not UAE in general, just Dubai. There was an average of 152 deaths on the road. 190
per annum.
Per annum.
Yeah.
197 serious injuries. Serious. I'm not just talking about a scratch or, no, serious injury. You probably lost a leg, an arm, God forbid, disability. So you have more risk driving on the roads on a usual day because of terrible drivers, and than actually being during this crisis. The chances of having debris fall on you is, okay, is it a possibility? Yes. So it's tripping off the stairs and cracking your neck. That's a possibility too. Maybe that's a higher possibility than
somebody died in my apartment, but I'm only in a small apartment block, only 16 apartments. Somebody died just recently. It was natural causes. It was a heart attack. Exactly. People die all the time. And every death is a tragedy, particularly if it's on the roads. But that is, as you say, a far greater risk than dying from so far. Yeah. And let's hope that continues. I'm sure it will. Than dying from this crisis, this conflict that's taking place in the region.
I mean, we're not trying to belittle it or anything. I mean,
absolutely.
Of course, you have children. They're scared. They hear these bang and booms. We as grown-ups know that this is a good sound. That's okay. They're intercepted, so that we're safe. And they've been amazing. They've been so amazing. The country, the leaders, the Air Force, the military, and protecting all of us. I've read somewhere that some of these THAAD rockets cost around $13 million a piece, and to intercept some of these rockets, like in outer space, can you imagine that price tag? That's a nice villa on the Palm.
Right.
How many of those have they launched?
Yeah.
They didn't flinch. Didn't say, oh, maybe it will land in the sand dune somewhere, let's not worry about it. 13. No, they intercepted all of them, just to make us feel safer.
Well, I feel very safe.
I feel very safe. I go by my day every day normally, okay, so people are different. Again, we're not trying to belittle this crisis. It is terrible, but it's not as horrible as the Western media says it. And what actually really upsets me, you read some titles and some headlines and you see some photos, they're not in Dubai. I saw something in Wall Street Journal where the headline said banks, American banks in the UAE targeted, and a massive cloud of smoke. I was like, what? There was a debris that fell nearby, and it was just like a small smoke. If you call this massive, what have you left? You've used that word in this. Where we, you know what I mean? And then they put a photo, and I could, honest to God, I think it's somewhere from Gaza or somewhere, like a complete destruction of a building that's not in Dubai. It was really strange. So the Western media has not been fair, and you noticed that you were in the right place because everybody's jealous. Everybody's jealous, and everybody who lives here,
why are we being attacked by the media? It's because,
and if anything, they helped us because the people who have moved here and have seen, they're now reading this Western media is like, what are they talking about? So I was right to move here. Now I know the kind of BS I was reading about Dubai before I moved here. Yeah. And now they see it for their own eyes, the amount of BS that you read on the Western media, and anyway, I'm really thankful and I'm really grateful to be in this country, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
I mean, I was outside the country when it first started, and my flight was due to take off from the UK, from Birmingham, just a few days after, and I didn't hesitate getting on that plane because I knew it would be safe here, and it has been. What I'd like to do is you've already touched on why investors should still be positive, particularly if they can see opportunities. Maybe we could go into that a little bit more. Things like, obviously, it's a cash-rich place, isn't it? Maybe we can touch on that. Would you like to talk about that?
Absolutely. So a lot of people have recently now learned that Dubai has been through crisis before, and the way it bounced back and came up on top is amazing, right? But why? Was it just luck? No. And I speak about these things, not exactly why this thing, but I speak about the smart decisions that Dubai has been doing since the 50s. This is not new.
And I'd just like to point out, you were born here, weren't you?
I was born here. I was born and raised here. I was born
to Lebanese parents.
Lebanese parents. My father came here in 1963.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a long time ago. And I've seen all the changes. But so people think it's luck. It's not luck. People think it's oil. It's not just oil. If you go back in history and read, the late Sheikh Rashid Al Maktoum, God bless him, the father of Sheikh Mohammed, what he has done, if you look at the creek that you see today, he had borrowed 500,000 pounds from the Kuwaiti government and raised another 100,000 pounds to dredge that creek. The demand wasn't there yet, but he was always about building it before, and that demand will come. He was always about building it first. So he borrowed a lot of that money. And Dubai didn't have any income. I mean, it was 10 times more maybe than the GDP, the annual GDP. But he wanted to increase the trade. So he dredged the creek, and that worked. So you had all these ships up to 500 tons size come to the creek, and the trade flourished, right? And he raised some of that money from issuing bonds to merchants on the creek in Dubai. Yeah, I mean, that's one of these stories. And next thing he did, against everybody's advice at the time, they said, "Oh, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of risk. Why would you dredge the creek? You don't have that many ships that come in." But then they came. The next thing he did, the Port Rashid, same story. They told him, "There's no demand for it. Why would you create such a big port?" But again, they proved them wrong. He built it first, and then the biggest whale was Jebel Ali Free Zone. That opened up in 1985, and everybody said, "No, that is just way too risky. You don't need such a big port way out there." I'm talking about 1985. We're talking about 1985. You had Jumeirah past the Trade Center roundabout at the time. There was nothing else. This Sheikh Zayed Road, all these high-rise buildings, and none of them existed. Nothing, no downtown, none of that. So, and you talk about Jebel Ali Free Zone, that was really way out. There was nothing. We would drive to Abu Dhabi through these 2 lanes highway, and it, forever before you get to Jebel Ali Free Zone. He built Jebel Ali Free Zone. Now it houses 90,000 companies.
Wow.
Some of them are the biggest, Nestle, to name a few. Halliburton, the headquarters in Dubai. Did you know that Jebel Ali Free Zone contributes 23% to the GDP, annual GDP of Dubai?
Is it really?
Jebel Ali Free Zone.
Still
yes,
today?
23%.
Yeah. So it was tremendous foresight, wasn't it?
Tremendous. I know I went off course a little bit here, but it's about making smart decisions. And that's why Dubai always bounces back. Consistently. What have they done in COVID? See, the bounce back from COVID, one of the first countries to bounce back from COVID. Why? Nobody mentioned it. Why? There's reasons. They always sit behind these closed doors and come out with these decisions to create incentives for investors and people to move to Dubai. They came out after COVID with the golden visas, the green visas, right? They came out 100% ownership on land, on the DED. Right,
foreign ownership.
So yes,
property,
exactly.
Yeah.
So they created a lot of these incentives to bring people back in, right?
Yeah,
and that worked. Yeah. And you can only think now. They are going to come up with incentives right after this to boost the economy again, right?
Yeah.
They've done few things right now during the crisis. One of them creates a free entry for all these parks. Look at the crowd have you seen the videos of the lineups in front of parks?
I haven't.
Look at the Miracle Garden lineup.
Oh yeah, well that's free. Yeah, like you say, that's free, isn't it?
That's free now.
So and then it creates the demand. And even when when people are charged again, they'll go back, won't they? Because you've kickstarted it with these incentives, which is what they keep doing.
If you have an expired residency, it's okay, come back. You can come back to Dubai. If you want to renew your visa and you're worried about going out and doing all these processes, they'll send you. Now you can get the medical done at home. Where else can you get that kind of treatment?
Yeah,
I've just seen a video today posted by this Lebanese guy who was a resident, and he was in Lebanon during the crisis when the war happened in Lebanon just now. He got a call from the UAE consulate. He's just a resident. He's not a national. They asked him if he wants to come back.
Really?
Honest to God, I will share the video with you. I'll share a link to it.
Yeah.
They asked him if he wants to come back. They just want to see what he wants, whatever he wants. They're with him. Just want to make sure that he's safe. Yeah. And he came back.
That's amazing.
And everybody bashes you on media saying, "Oh, you guys glorify UAE," but you can't help it. I mean, you have to be thankful. Look at these things that they do. They don't announce it. They don't talk about it. We're talking about it because it happens to us, right?
Yeah.
I was born here. I lived through all of this. I've seen it all happen. So I've got a lot of stories where people sometimes think, "Oh, they just do this now to polish the image." That's not true. I have a story. I like this story a lot, especially about Dubai police. It was 2001. I was a young man. I was 22. It's not like I'm. I'll tell you where that's going. I was watching a Champions League game, and usually Champions League game here happened like at midnight because of the time difference.
Yep.
And I had this Mustang. I was a young guy. I had this Mustang. It's a very heavy car, and I parked in the little bit of dirt next to this lounge. I came out. I couldn't get the car out. Got stuck. Late at night, I stopped a police car. You know what they did? Rolled up their sleeves.
Really?
They dug the sand. I'm a young man. I can do it myself. What's my excuse? No excuse. They helped me. That's 2001. So if you think, "Oh, Dubai police is just helping people out now," that's not. They were always that way.
Yeah, they're very well trained, the police here. If I observe them, I watch them. I hadn't had many dealings with them myself, but I watch them and think you've handled that really well.
They genuinely help people. It's how they are, right? It's not so. In some parts of the world where I've lived, I was always afraid when a cop pulls me over. I don't want to mention where, but some people know where I'm talking about, especially if your name is Mohammed. But anyway, in Dubai, it's just always friendly. Yeah, most of the time when you make a mistake and you're pulled over, they let you go with a warning. You know. Have you seen a video? There was a video today actually circulating because during the heavy rain yesterday, one of these delivery guys with a motorbike, his motorbike broke down, and there's a police guy pushing him.
Really?
On foot.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And he didn't know somebody was taking a video, but somebody took a video. But it doesn't surprise you because you see this in Dubai. This is normal, right?
Yeah.
So this is the kind of thing that makes you love this country. I mean, they do it. Well, why wouldn't you? They make it difficult for you not to like them, not to love them, really,
Yeah, so we're both very positive about it and bullish about it. But just listening to the way you talk there, clearly you've had a few years now since you've been doing real estate of success, and it's not surprising with this knowledge you have. And just listening to you talk in general, you were talking the other day about the relationship that you have with certain developers and how you're able to help clients out.
Right.
There was the one story that you were talking about where there was the deal where it was mispriced and how you sorted that out with your client. Can you talk about that? I love that.
So sometimes when you have big developers and you have a lot of inventory, and you know how developers work. Let's say they have a new project, it's a big launch, a lot of marketing. They try to sell off all the inventory for that particular project. And with time, because they're a big developer, you'll have a couple months later another 2 or 3 projects, and throughout the year maybe they have 20 projects that's launched, right? So now the project that was launched 19 projects before is kind of forgotten, not being promoted as much, and not being pushed on the agenda of the sales agents within that developer to sell, right? And that's the thing I try to find usually on their platforms. Let me see what's remaining from these previous launches before that's not sold, because some of them come back to the inventory because somebody couldn't do the payments anymore or had to walk out of the deal, returned units. And I found this amazing unit that was really well priced in a very great area. And I'm like, oh my God, it's almost unreal, And I contacted the sales agent, that developer. I said, I'm booking this unit. Everything matches up. She's like, yeah, everything checks out. Yes, that's the price. I don't know how it is, but that's what it is. And the price was a lot less than the market price per square foot because that project was 1.5 years old when it was launched off plan, right? So I told my client right away, I said, this is, and when you have this kind of relationship with your investors just trust your reward. Say, okay, this is a great unit.
Great position to be in when you're like that with the clients.
Exactly.
And you've got a lot of clients like that.
I have a lot of clients like that because, it's a relationship, right? It's for many years. They trust me. Okay, Mo, find me a good unit. So whenever I call them and say, this is the one you want to buy now, they'll do it right away. Then maybe they'll have a couple of questions and I'll explain to them why. And that's it. And then we booked it right away. And as soon as we booked it, and I went the next day to pay the deposit, they took it offline. They took the entire building offline.
Right. And so it looked like you were going to lose out then?
Yes.
Potentially.
And I said, guys, Why did you pull it offline? Oh, we don't know what's going on. We don't know. And I knew why, because the moment it was booked and went through the system of booking, they noticed, what? The price should have been changed. How did we miss that one? And that's a big developer, right? And so now they were stuck. So they had a week, and because of my relationship with them, and I did really fight for my clients. So that's when you have a great relationship with a developer, because you do a lot of sales with them.
Yep.
You do have that. I'm not saying the upper hand, but you do have a negotiation.
Absolutely,
you can
and
come
that's
to the
the way
table.
the world. It's not just in Dubai; it's everywhere.
Exactly. You guys want to lose me and lose my clients because you guys. This is fair. You guys missed it, or didn't. They wouldn't want to admit it. Of course, they said, "Oh, they had to do some changes to the floor plan."
Yeah, right.
18 months later, suddenly now after, but at the end we got the unit back, and I'm really glad that we were able to secure it. So, but always look for these opportunities.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? Not all brokers can do that. They don't have the relationship necessarily with the clients, or they don't have it with the developers. And you've proved over a few years now that you have, and that's why I think, you're a top agent for people to go to. And
thank you.
And that isn't a one-off story. I know there are more like that. So
there's a few. But I mean, listen, this is how you also can get clients. I mean, if you find a great opportunity, investors are smart. If you find a great opportunity like this, and the price per square foot in that area, it makes a lot of sense, especially for an investor. It's a very strong, compelling story, because you got all the numbers out there. Oh, the price per square foot is 2,000 in the market today. Anywhere else is 2,400, right? Your ROI on this is going to be around 7.5%, while today currently everybody's making around 6.5, or if it checks out, it checks out. Especially if it's off plan.
There's so much data available to us now.
Absolutely.
And I think when we were talking on a call we did the other day, it was said that really now, because it is going to be more difficult for brokers with the current situation, now is the time to be talking to those clients, providing the information for them, so that when this market is more proactive again, which it will be, you're in the right position to take advantage of it. And I'm sure you're doing that.
Yeah, there was another thing that happened the past 3 weeks. As brokers, we do have a lot of WhatsApp groups with with different areas, and sometimes you're looking for a certain unit in a certain area, and you want to speak to the agents who have inventory in that area. And you see a lot on the WhatsApp groups, distressed deal, distressed deal, distressed deal, distressed deal. And then you have to understand, I mean, even your clients, a lot of agents have their numbers, and they keep sending them all these WhatsApps. And every now and then you'll get a call saying, "Oh my God, what's going on in Dubai? There's all these distressed deals." And you tell them, of course, because I know the market is like, there are no distressed deals. There aren't. It's not. It's too early. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm getting all these messages about distressed deals. I was like, okay, fair enough. Any message that you get, and this is something that you can tell your client right now, because I know most of you got these calls, or a lot of you got these calls from your clients saying there's a lot of distressed deals that they're receiving. Ask them to send you this distressed deal, just to double check it, because
and that's what you're doing, isn't it?
That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
And all of them, David, all of them, no exceptions, all the deals that were sent through, I was able in 5 minutes to show them that they were not distressed at all. Just because it has a label called distress is not a distress. It's not. So you as an agent, your job is just tell your client, okay, if it's a good deal, I'll tell you to get it, but I'm your trusted advisor, right? Just send it to me. Let me just double check if it's true. Because all I'll do is I'll go check the historical transactions, the past previous 3 months, see how much it was selling for per square foot, and also check what's available on the market today. Go to the property portal, see what's available, similar units on the market. And then you'll be able to tell if that was a distressed deal or not. Most of the time it's not. And some of them were even higher than market price.
Well, that's unbelievable, isn't it? If it's distressed and it's above what you would expect market price to be. But the other thing I think of is, you hear this term a lot, below market price. Well, if it's below what you expect the market price to be, and prices drop, and it's a market, prices go up and down, that becomes the new market price, doesn't it?
And I wish I see, the more I see is a lot of people saying below OP. I don't care what the OP was.
OP being original price.
Yeah, original or opening price, original price. I don't care what it was. I can show you units where the OP is higher than the market price today. Because in 2014, there were some expensive units that people bought, and is more expensive than the market price today. Some agents would know what I'm talking about. So I don't care what the OP was.
It's the market price today.
It's the market price.
Right.
Give me it below
regardless
market price.
of
Is it 10% below market price? 15, 5?
The original price of Bitcoin was 7 cents. That's
exactly. Maybe it was a gift.
So,
what's the OP? So why do I care about the OP?
Why does that matter?
Yeah. Even if you bought it for 1 dirham and you're selling it for 5 million, but that 5 million is 10% less than the market price, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. I don't care about the OP. So OP is pointless. I don't care what the OP was. Tell me how much is it less than market price. Even if it's off plan and still under construction, you'll still be able to tell what the market price is for it today.
Yeah. And then we were talking before the podcast about where you might like to live in the future and which areas you like. And you mentioned Expo. I didn't realize that because that's where I intend to live later in the year. I've got the opportunity to move there. And you're moving there because fantastic news. Your wife's expecting a little one.
Yes. In a couple of months. I have a baby boy, my first.
Yeah,
I'm really excited. We're really excited.
That's great news.
Yeah, right now I love downtown. I mean, we're not a big family. I mean,
that's where you're living at the moment. Right?
Yeah, I live in downtown. I love it. I mean,
view of Burj Khalifa.
View of the fountain, right on the fountain. I'm on top of Souk al-Bahar. I love that. I love that place. So not in a few years' time, I'll be moving to Expo Valley when it's all done, and I love that area. Why? That's the new Dubai. When you grew up here, you saw the cycle how Dubai was expanding. So before, when I was growing up, I was living in Dira, in an area called Al Hamriya. That was Dubai. And you had Dira and you had Bur Dubai. And Dubai started expanding a little bit where you got to the trade center. Beyond the trade center, Sheikh Zayed Road started coming up. That became the prime. That became the new Dubai. And anything before the trade center became the old Dubai, right?
Yeah.
So from the Sheikh Zayed Road, then you had downtown come up. Then Business Bay. And then it started gradually increasing with the population increase. I mean, it's crazy to think I was just talking in a video about the first shopping festival happened in 1996 in Dubai Creek Park.
I've seen that, yeah.
You know what the population of Dubai was back then?
800,000?
700. Even less.
I didn't watch the video closely enough.
690,000 or something like this.
Yeah.
700,000. Today we're around 4 million.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So we call it the new Dubai because they keep expanding in that direction. And the more you come closer to Abu Dhabi, it's like it's a match in heaven. Right, you're in the center. So Expo for me is gonna be the digital capital of Dubai. That's what I'd like to call it.
That's a great term.
And it's a complete ecosystem. So not only is it a sustainable city because 30% of the power is generated by solar panels,
right?
But you have workplace, retail, metro, the biggest exhibition hall in the area. The biggest airport in the world is 15 minutes away.
I know it's just the right distance, isn't it? So it's really close, but you won't be in the flight path.
So you're not going to be on a flight path, and you have a metro that takes you to the airport. I think 1 stop or 2 stops to the airport.
Right.
You're close to the Etihad Railway too, as well.
Yeah.
You're in between the Dubai airport and the new Palm. And how far are you from Abu Dhabi? Less than an hour. Mm. So it's just the perfect spot, and that's a new Dubai.
Plus the underground parking, so that you can,
which is fantastic because the whole area is going to be like you'll have it's a pedestrian zone, You'll have bicycles and so. But it's I love that area. I think that's the gem of the new Dubai.
Yeah. It's and that was when you came to EXP. That was the first big deal you did. There was it 30?
Yeah, with EXP, that was
30-something million.
37 million. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I just love that place. I love that area, and to me, the moment I saw it, I knew that that's where I want to live, like in the future, because that's the future. 100% government owned, government backed. The government paid $8 billion to build that thing. Right. If you want to know where to invest, look where the government's putting money. It's very simple. Where is the government putting a lot of money? That's where you go.
Of course. Yeah. Makes complete sense. And you've got that infrastructure there already. Then the residential comes, which is a lot better than a lot of communities where they do the residential first, and then you hope the
exactly. And this was like exactly. It's a perfect setup. So they did all the commercial and all of that, and then the residential comes. So it's perfect. I mean, it's simple. I say this: why you follow what the government invests? It's like if you saw Elon Musk buy this stock, you'd be like, "Oh, let me buy this. He must know something I don't." It's
obvious.
It's obvious. The government just, put what 100 billion or 200 billion in DIFC 2.0. Is that a brainer? Go there. What are you waiting for? Just buy the first opportunity you can buy. Just jump there, and that's why it was sold out in one day. And you were the launch in DIFC 2.0 in Zabil.
Sure. Yeah.
It's the easiest math.
Before I let you go, I do want to mention the social media.
Yes,
because it's happened overnight, hasn't it, for you? Talk to me about it, because
I'll tell
you were doing virtually nothing on social media as far as you did the odd LinkedIn and that, and they were good articles, but the reaction wasn't amazing. But all of a sudden, you've become this almost celebrity.
Oh no, not yet.
And obviously helped by the fact you're very good in front of the camera, and the fact that you've got this compelling story of being brought up here, and then being a great real estate agent. Talk to me a bit about it.
Okay, so for a long time I don't use social media much. I use it maybe to to catch up with the news or browse some products sometimes, but I've never used it in terms of like putting my face on I never thought that I needed to. I have my portfolio of clients since I was a banker, a long time ago, and it's almost like a private fund. I manage
your network's already done, isn't
exactly.
it?
I have my private network of buyers that I manage their accounts. Of course, I do go on trips and to expand this network a bit. But
you travel a lot. You go to the US a lot.
Yeah, mostly to the US. Yeah, I have a good client, network client there, especially in Houston. So, but I didn't see the importance of being present on social media to promote properties or talk about that. But I saw the importance of being there, right? And that's why when I did the channel and I approached this media agency, I said, I want nothing to do with real estate. I don't want to talk about real estate. Even the first month, they were giving me these ideas to talk about real estate, and I did them and I wasn't enjoying them. And I said, that's it. I don't want to do that. I'm not here talking about that. I want to talk about the things I love. I was born and raised here. I've seen a lot of changes. I want to talk about that, right? So, I mean, right now, I just told you from 1996 till now, the population grew from 700,000 to 4 million. So there's 3.3 who don't know how Dubai, what happened to Dubai before then, right? Let me tell them.
Very good point.
Because I was here. I was here. I was born in 78. I grew up here. I got photos, I got videos I'd like to share, I'd like to talk about. And they're just fun facts. Okay, will it change your life? No, but it's interesting. It gives you a little bit of a different perspective on Dubai. Because I don't like it when people say, it's just oil, it was luck. It's not at all. And you'll be shocked about it was built on one smart decision after another. That's what I keep saying. And very smart decisions and very risk taking, that paid off because it was the vision.
Yeah.
And still happens today. So we went from the father to the son. What Sheikh Mohammed and have done in such a short of time is remarkable. Strategic
risk, really, wasn't it? Borrowing all that money, as we go back to the creek where it all started, really, and borrowing issuing those bonds, as you said, and investing first, and then the people have come.
Exactly. So they built it first, and then people come. Same thing with Emirates Airlines. They started with 2 leased airplanes from Pakistan Airlines.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No subsidy. The government didn't pay any money. They waited.
Was it part of Donata originally?
No, Donata was separate. Donata was separate. So Emirates Airlines started with 2 planes. I think it was 86. 2 planes, 2 leased aircraft from Pakistan Airlines. And it was...
At what stage did Maurice Flanagan come over from BA?
I think it was maybe right at that time.
Yeah.
Because the mandate was make it profitable. You're not going to get any money from the government, and they did.
Yeah.
It was profitable. When they proved it was profitable, then the money came. So it wasn't the other way. It was not people. They threw money at it because no, it wasn't. Read the history. Read the history of how. So a lot of these little stories, it just gives you a different perspective. Give you a lot of respect. Oh my God, okay, respect. They just throw money at it and they work. No, it's not like that. It wasn't. Dubai was never oil rich. They had oil. If you look up today, how much oil contributes to the GDP of Dubai, you'll be surprised. You'll actually be shocked.
It's very little, isn't it?
Less than 5.
Yeah.
Less than 5%.
Yeah.
So it's trade and commerce, tourism. That's the biggest, right? So of course you see the impact when tourism is hit now. But I'm excited to see what kind of incentives the government will come up with.
Exactly. But the one thing we know is they will.
They will. And they will come up with things that Dubai is even without Dubai is already compelling for people to come.
Yeah.
Because the domino effect that this economy, that the oil prices and the crisis in the world today.
Well, the oil prices ironically going to help.
Yesterday on the news they said in Pakistan, the oil prices, the gas prices went up by 60%.
Which is going to hit Pakistan, isn't it?
Yeah. And we talk about gas prices. We're not talking about the commuters on the roads, but that's going to affect the flights, right? That's going to affect cargo. all your shipments is going to cost. Tomatoes that's coming to you is going to cost 3 times more because the diesel's costing you 3 times more. So it's going to have a retro effect, and that's going to go for a long time before it actually go back to healthy numbers. If maybe a year. Yeah, but not in Dubai. Because they do help and subsidize a lot. Because why? Because they're cash positive. They have a cash surplus.
They're in a position to do so, aren't they? Yeah. Well, Mo, I could talk to you for hours. There's quite a bit I wanted to cover that we've run out of time, unfortunately, but I'll get you back on again.
Great.
But where is the best place for people to reach out to you?
Oh, my social media on Instagram or my LinkedIn, my phone number.
I'll put links in the show notes. But,
absolutely.
Really appreciate you coming back. Thanks very much for your perspective today.
Thanks a lot, David. And thanks a lot for bringing me to EXP, because you're the one who introduced me to EXP. I reached out. It was very spontaneous. I remember that time. It was on LinkedIn and I was traveling. I was like, okay, let me reach out to David and speak to him and see what EXP is all about. And I wanted to cover more EXP, but we just haven't got time now. But it's worked for you, hasn't it?
It worked because, I mean, it would work for so many ages. I mean, we're growing and we're growing worldwide. We're growing in Dubai, but people just don't know how powerful this, platform is. It took me 10 minutes to understand it. I was happy with 10 minutes. I was like, okay, that's it. I was the same. I was like, it's too good to be true. I mean, but it is true. And it checks out. Everything checked out. And I couldn't be more happy. Oh, that's great. For somebody like me who's independent, who's got his own portfolio of clients, and you want to make the most out of it, this is where you have to go. Totally agree. Definitely. Thanks very much, Mo. David, thanks a lot for having me. Looking forward to the next one. Yeah, me too. Thank you. Okay, man. Thanks.